and I left, but I stood up on the underpass right there where the restroom are, and the students were kind of coming out of the cracks and marching onto the field, and I was kind of joking with the security people out there, and I was like, yeah, Doctor always says that you gotta claw. She want to see, before we let them leave, she want to see claw marks in their backs, as of us trying to keep them here and get them accomplished. As soon as I said that, I was looking at all of those kids coming out of that tunnel, and I just thought, I mean, I don't know what our final number is. Anybody know what our final? It's like 2 something.
213.
Yeah, it's 2 something, and we were sitting there watching them come out, and I started thinking about how much I really do appreciate all of your hard work. Because at that time, one was turning the corner. I said, that joker got deep claw marks. Trying to get you here, but it's because of you all and all of your hard work and your willingness to make these students successful. So I just wanted to tell you how much I really, really do appreciate all of your hard work to make these kids successful and finally reach their goal, which is to graduate. And I know some of them, it's like, I say, like pushing a noodle uphill. Every time you push, they curl and roll back on you. And you push again, and they curl and roll back on you. But the important thing is you kept pushing. And I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate it. And I said this earlier, we don't ever need to forget how resilient you are. And I know sometimes things get frustrating and things come down, but seems like the day I saw out there just reminded me, and it needs to remind you when you see graduation on Saturday, how tough and resilient you are and how you're never willing to give up and give up on these students. And they frustrate us. I had one in there this morning. You have one every year that when it's this time of year, and all of a sudden they want to rush to the stage, and graduation, becomes important. And y'all know the first day I talk to seniors, I always tell them, don't be that one, because we have one every year, and this year was no different. But just to see those kids coming out of that little tunnel and thinking about all that, I just wanted to really, really tell you how much I really do appreciate your efforts and all the things that we've done to get these kids to where they need to be. It's our keeps, tweaks, and delete time of year. And I was walking in, I said, boy, this is better than Facebook. I saw everybody looking around and reading the comments and things like that. And of course, when we start this, our goal is to, for the deletes to get smaller and for the keeps to get bigger and tweaks to either get a little bit smaller, but really the deletes, once we get them down, then we know that we're moving in the right direction. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start backwards. I'm gonna start with the things we did not like, and then finish with the positive, the things that we like. When we leave this meeting, the things that we like, and I will say when I read them, it's pretty much, the same kind of things, duty and stuff like that, so, all right. What are some of the things you didn't like about this year? I tell you what, let's make this active. I don't want to stand up here and read. Let's start back there. Somebody read that first one right there. Don't wait. This is not like you might go back.
When it was announced that several afternoon duty positions were available at the beginning of the school year, it ended up being more than several positions, and it ended up that the morning duty people had more duty days throughout the year.
Okay. All right.
Research on that one now.
Not being informed of core curriculum changes.
All right. When they put that, they really didn't give any examples, so I have no idea whoever put that on what they were talking about. So unless we won't talk about it, I don't know what that was. Can anybody? I don't know what that was. All right.
The next one?
Yes, sir.
During lunchroom morning duty before school, there needs to be an an administrator or resource officer or someone with a radio in the lunchroom at all times, especially after 7:45 a.m.
Now, I know most of the time, Ms. Hart is in the office every day, unless one of the other administrators is not here, and she moves over to the bus ramp. And normally, I'll rotate in there, and then sometimes, you know, you get caught up with a parent conference or something, but I definitely would try to do a better job of being in there. I usually try to get in there at least before the 8:15 bell rings, so we'll try to do a better job of doing that on a more consistent basis.
Tardy policies for students leaving the new building, coming out to the old building.
Well, construction will take care of all of that. You know, all of that, passing into the old building and all that stuff will be gone. Speaking of that, everything's supposed to be done as far as the new building is concerned, the second week in July. So it won't be any of that, leaving here, going out of where the teacher's dining area, crossing over to all that will be gone. Matter of fact, our dining area will be our true dining area next year. And nobody will be going out of those doors. So that'll take care of itself. Anything with the whole building transitioning will take care of itself based on the construction.
I try to read my emails, but sometimes things come through that require a teacher's attention. It was hard to read them when I'm busy instructing or assisting students.
I don't know, that's something that maybe whoever put that, you can talk to somebody else and see how they do it. Let somebody have any ideas on how to help this person. Because, you know, you're gonna have emails. I get here, for me, of course, I'm not instructing students, but I'm doing other things. For me, I try to get here early, do my emails, then I leave late. But that's just for me. And I know sometimes emails come in the middle of the day, but hopefully it's not an email. Hopefully all the emails with like, we're gonna meet with seniors at third period. Hopefully that's in the morning or after school. We'll try not to send emails that require some kind of movement. If that ever happens, then we'll do an email and we'll try to do an all call. So hopefully that'll do that one. All right, somebody take the next page over there. Anybody out there? Somebody check out there.
Morning duty every 3 weeks is ridiculous. Some of the posts are not necessary. There needs to be a male in the cafeteria at morning duty. Many times the rotation did not have a male teacher in there.
Wow, only thing missing on this is everything capitalized, huh? Yeah, I don't know about morning duty every 3 weeks. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, y'all know morning duty is necessary. And y'all know, how many people have been to other schools other than Washington County? All right, how's morning duty where you were?
I had it every morning, but just according to, it was a rotation basis for a few of them. Some got stuck with duty all the time, some got stuck with every other week type deal, so it just varied.
And I know the duty is always delete, but we can't delete duty, y'all. And we try to keep away, we as administrators, we take care of the afternoon duties, but we can't delete duties. I mean, we can't delete anything with supervision. And I don't know a school in the country that teachers don't do supervision. And I would deem to say, or I would go out on a limb to say, even though it's 3 weeks, we probably do less duty than a normal school. I mean, and somebody can tell me anything different. This is my 4th school system, and I had morning duty every morning. And I know teachers and people had bus duty, teachers had bus duty. Well, even schools in this county, you go to Ridge Road and you go to Elder Middle School, I guarantee you their rotation on duties is more than ours. So that's just one of those necessary evils. Now, as far as the duty locations, of course, that's gonna change because of the construction, because the students now will be entering, they'll be getting dropped off in the cafeteria as opposed to getting dropped off back here. So of course, that'll consolidate the cafeteria duties with the duties that was back here. So we won't have any students coming in back here. They'll either get dropped off here or come in at the bus ramp. So with the construction, that'll take care of it. And I apologize if you think it was ridiculous or if you think it was too many stations. But I guarantee you, if you ever become responsible for supervision, you see what happens when you don't have it, it won't, I promise you, it won't be ridiculous. Because almost more than educated, supervision is right up there. Because everything is good until something happens, and we didn't have somebody with eyes on it. As what's schooling about also, they found a boy in Lowndes County. You know, that sums up supervision, you know, right there. All right, next one.
Netbooks, do away with them.
Next one.
Bathroom duty.
That's gonna stay. Next one.
I do not
Let me elaborate on that.
What's the point of doing this?
We in a brand new building, y'all. Where's Mr. Young? Tell us what we had to do with that bathroom before we made bathroom duty.
And paint all of them.
And repaint them. And the way this school is set up, anything we have in the public, in the cafeteria, guess what bathrooms they use? Those right there. And can you imagine, again, think about my seat, or about the public, because you remember people didn't even want us to build this school. And before we built this school, the thing that they predicted was that the school was gonna be tore up. Oh, they're not gonna do this, and it's gonna do that. Well, we didn't start out with bathroom duty, but when I saw that happening, that's when we made that adjustment. Did you have to paint it again?
No, sir.
That took care of it. Okay, so that's why we started bathroom. That's probably if somebody on duty.
I do not like how some of us as faculty and staff members feel like we need to monitor every decision that is made in a negative manner without knowing all of the facts pertaining to the decision. I would like to see us act professionally at all times because this type of behavior is not good for the overall school environment.
Okay. All right, guess what this person, sometimes decisions are made, and I know we like to think that everybody should be the same way. It ain't fair for this one to do this one, it ain't fair for that one to do this one. But when someone comes to me in my office, they have a situation, whether it's a family situation, whether it's a personal situation, then I'm going to help them as much as I can. And sometimes it requires me to excuse them from something that they need to be excused from. But that's on an individual basis. That's just being a part of working in a working environment. We do have people that look at things and they don't know all the facts and they'll put their 2 cents and that's not fair. And they really don't know why that decision is being made. But until they need that decision to be made for them. So if I was the type of person that if you came to me and my child is doing this, thus, and so over at Ridge Road, can I go? No, you can't go because it's not fair to everybody else. Or my child is going on a field trip at the elementary school, they need me to chaperone. Can I go? No, you can't go because you're not a part of this school. That's ridiculous. And if I send somebody on a field trip and they're chaperoning in the Washington County school system, yeah, I'm gonna give them professional day. Because we go on field trips with everybody else's kids and get a professional day. So why can't, if we're trying to help out another school, just things like that. And people will see that and they'll get to talking about, how unfair it is. But fairness is based on individual situations, and as individual situations come up. And we all, one time or another, need to be excused from something, got something going on with our families, got something going on with our children or family members. And when people come to me, if I can excuse them, then I'm gonna excuse them. And whoever reads something into it, there's nothing I can do about that. But I'm not gonna be where everything is black and white, in gray. If you come to me and you have a legitimate reason for doing something, then I'm probably gonna grant it. Now, the person that views things and stuff like that, trust me, they probably been in there and talked to me. But we have to think organizationally. We can't just think about ourselves, because there are situations that come about, and I have the authority to excuse people, and I'll keep doing that. Because there are situations that come up. This situation will come up with me sometimes, and I have to run somewhere. So that's why all that is. And I tell you all the time, my office is open. If you want to know why something is happening, then just come and ask me, and I'll be happy to tell you. I ain't gonna tell you somebody else's business, but I'll be happy to tell you that it's a good reason. So that'll take all the guesswork out. So if you ever want to know something, you just come ask me. I'll be happy to discuss it. Next one.
Duty schedule rotates around too often, too many spots that are not necessary.
And that duty again, but hopefully with the new school going up, it'll shorten some of those spaces. Can't make any promises, but hopefully.
The Teaks videos are awful.
That must be the same ridiculous person. Listen, that's training. And again, what I tell you, it's not fair for me to hold you responsible for something and I haven't trained you on it. I'm sorry that it wasn't entertaining to you. but we have to train you on this thing, okay?
I really wish we would not have breakout sessions for faculty meetings. I know we haven't done them lately, and it was very nice.
Okay. Again, that's just necessary training. I mean, that's just necessary training. Next one.
I would also really like to stop having to post work on the walls.
Okay. Is this the same person I want? But we have to do that, y'all. It's part of our standard-based class. All right. Let get somebody else. You might start calling out people.
Too much testing, assessing. We are not able to teach material for having to pre-assess, assess, and then post-assess. That alone is 3 days on one element standard without even beginning to teach the material.
So too much testing and too much assessing. All I can say is you're in the wrong business. That's all I can say to that. Because if you're not going to assess, if you're not going to test, then I don't know how you can be successful. Now, you want to meet with me afterwards and tell me another way we can do it, I'm all ears, but I don't know. And we'll have instructional facilitators, and maybe they can help you do this part. All right, next.
Remediation day all day on a specific scheduled day. This does not allow for good flexibility for some classes. It did not always fit and was stressful, making it fit each week to look a certain way each time.
Okay. The thing you have to remember, they're talking about our new halt time. The thing you have to remember is we have to be able to show artifacts, we have to be able to explain everything that we do. And we have to have some kind of uniformity in everything that we do. If we, say for example, we say, all right, y'all do halt time whatever day you feel is necessary. Now, how are we going to monitor that? You know, how are we going to, and then they'll say, well, it's on our lesson plans, okay? Well, how do I know when math is doing it? How do I know when science is doing it? How do I know when social studies is doing it? And when we come in and we have sax and we have the star group come in, the stage group come in and all of that, we have to be able to show monitor. Because the first thing they'll say, well, how do you monitor that? How do you know that it's being done? So that's where doing it on specific days and stuff come in, because of that piece. And you have to be able to monitor and explain. Okay? All right?
Freshman netbooks need some work.
Okay. Well, next year, take care of that. What we want to do is netbooks and iPads. We're going to have carts. So we're going to have carts with netbooks and carts with iPads for the striving readers. Then you all, so it won't be a one-to-one netbook day next year. So that'll take care of that. So, but we will have the netbook carts and we will have the iPad carts. And what we have to do as a faculty is figure out, because I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, they're not gonna just sit in there and collect dust. All right, so we're gonna have to figure out a way that we can make sure that we're still using them. But just because the kids don't have them, don't mean they're gonna sit in there and they're gonna go spider webs on the wheels and nobody's gonna check them out. But we gotta figure out a way, and we'll do that later. Just be thinking of a way that we can use them. Because we'll have about 6 carts of, how many you got in there?
8. We got
8?
4 iPad cards, and
Okay.
I think we're getting 8 netbook cards.
We're gonna get 8 to 10 netbook carts, and we have 4 iPad carts, and they hold 36.
30. We have 116 iPads.
Okay, I think the carts were 36, I think.
32.
32, yeah.
Yeah.
32 per cart. So just figure out how to order
When you
that.
say netbook, you mean the MacBooks, right? Is it the, for those, you talk about, oh, no, not the MacBooks.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
that's-
netbooks will be basically the netbooks that the seniors had, the new ones. That's what the carts will, that's what'll be in the carts, those new ones. And then the ones that's in pretty decent shape, we're gonna let the other schools that need them, we're gonna let them use them, okay? So that'll take care of it. All right, next one.
Wish there were more keys so that teachers on English end could have access to the work.
Do y'all know, let me tell y'all about these keys. Anybody know how we gotta make a key?
I don't want to hear the question.
I think the teacher
Send it
was
off to
down
California. We cannot
at the
run
end of the
over
English hall.
to,
When we had to come in that
B
door,
and B
and now
and
we
make a
can
key.
use it.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
didn't have a swipe.
Is it possible to get a keypad
swipe?
at that door?
Swipe?
Swiping, like we get in?
I can ask. I don't mind
It would be
requesting.
nice.
It
We
would,
can see if they can do it, so you just use your
That's not
card.
parking down there.
because you park at the end down there, you just come in the corner.
Right,
The
right,
English
right.
teachers didn't they park down there.
Just get, make entrance. Because I know this one has it, but they need to put it on that. Okay, I can request that. That's not an issue. And when they do it, I'll request it. Okay?
That we can't get the air conditioning to go off and stay off.
That's what happens when you dig it out stuff. And you're right, it's the same way in my office. I'll turn it on, or I'll turn it off, and that sucker in the winter time, the coldest day, it's gonna kick it right back on. I about had to purchase me a heater. So I feel your pain on that one, and we've requested to hopefully, as it get things done, that can be done. Ma'am? Yes. That was old school, yeah. Yeah, you get your heater, absolutely. That's what I had to get outside. All right, next.
I'm gonna build a bonfire.
Duty. There's got to be a way for that to be lessened. There are stations that seem to make them
Okay, so hopefully, we talked about that, hopefully that will be fixed once everything gets completed. But again, y'all, I have duty, y'all, I don't understand. But anyway, I feel you. All right, next one.
The transition to and from the new school and old school due to construction, which resulted in the loss of performance preparation time from week to week and month to month. However, this will be totally tweaked this time next year.
That's correct. Yes,
That's the answer, that's
As their own post. It will be different next year. We'll have actually hallways. Those 2 walls on each side of the theater are temporary walls. They'll be coming down. So there'll be hallways. The one on this hall leads directly to the chorus, ROTC band, and the other one, if you go through, it takes you right to the open. So that'll take you all right, somebody else?
All the time out of class, instructional time has to be protected if our evaluations are based on test scores.
Well, I mean, this is high school, and y'all know a lot of stuff go on in high school. And that's kind of just the nature of high school. And I don't really know how to, I mean, we got ball games, we got trips, we got, you know, all the stuff that go on in high school. So that's just kind of the nature of high school. All right, next one.
I think the morning duty and the afternoon duty needs to rotate with everyone, but that is not on permanent morning duty.
Now, is this person saying that we need to rotate? Now, this one kind of confused me. Is this person saying we need to rotate everybody through morning and afternoon duty? I mean, how do y'all read that again, Mr. Ray?
I think the morning duty and the afternoon duty needs to rotate with everyone that is not on permanent morning duty.
That's what they're saying. Y'all agree with that? Y'all want me to rotate you the whole day? No, I don't mind.
I missed it.
I think if your coaches can't, we already have afternoon, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
and then you open it up to whoever wanted to do afternoon to
Right.
do it. So
Right.
you didn't do it, you didn't do it.
Right. Okay. So if this person kind of wants, after we come see me and give me a better understanding, I'll be open to talking to you. All right?
Do halt time, lose too much instruction time, go back to old system.
I can't believe that. Man, as much as we struggle with the old hawk time, but I mean, you know, it's everybody's opinion, so that's good. Y'all know it don't matter to me. As long as we got some kind of remediation going on, we can do it the old way, we can do it the new way, just as long as we have some type of remediation going on. All I know for 6.5 years on this thing, Hawk Time, the way we do it, it was always going to be deleted. But we never had an alternative method until now. So y'all tell me, it don't matter to me, if we want to go back to the old way, we want to stay with the new way. So I just, okay, all right, we talked about the heating and cooling system. We know that we got to, we just got to try to hopefully get that better. All right, who's got the next one?
Yeah, I'm still reading on this one.
Okay.
Morning duty being
Those are bad comments or something.
I think we're talking about more than y'all, and we'll see if it gets better once all this construction is done.
The last one is too many meetings and to-dos with Ms. Gilbert.
Well, we won't have that next year. Ms. Ingers says she's too late.
But really, what you have to understand is again, if we expect something from you, we're going to evaluate you on something. It is not fair for you to not to be trained up.
There were a lot of new things.
That's right. A lot of, you talking about slows, teaks, milestones, how you gotta do that, and can you imagine, you coming and talking to me in your summative evaluation, and I'm talking about your SGP didn't match your TAPS, and it comes together, and you are right here, and we did no training on it. You be talking about, how in the world, what are you talking about? Or you don't know know how to go on an electronic platform, you don't know how to do this. And oh, by the way, another congratulations is that because of your hard work and keeping up with your Teach and Leach plan, Ms. Binion and representatives from the county has been invited to speak at Gale on how this system does their Teach and Leaks and how we were able to meet all the deadlines and the organization and stuff like that. So we get to go up and present to at Gale, which is at Jeff Island, so we're like 500 people invited by the state. That's because of all your hard work. But that's what that training is. You know, you have to, if you're held responsible for something, it is not fair for you not to know everything that's involved in it so you can do your very best. But nobody wants to sit there and I tell you ineffective or needs improvement. And then you have no idea why you're ineffective or why you need improvement. So that's what all that stuff is. So actually, I want to thank Ms. Gilbert.
Yes.
Because I can tell you, if you ever been one of the ones that go to a conference, and you sit in that conference with other school systems, and them people I went to a conference in Atlanta, they took my teacher and moved them out to help teach the other schools. Because we were so far ahead of everybody. When you talk about flip modules, and you talking about all of that stuff, electronic platforms and things like that, you talk to other people, they have no idea what you're talking about. So that's what all that training is. Can I get somebody to read this alone? Get somebody to read the next paper?
I do not like how morning duty and afternoon duty are this year. I think that afternoon duty should be put into the rotation with morning duty and everyone should have to do both. If someone can't do a week or a day or something, then they can work it out with others like we do now with morning duty. I'm still on my hall duty monitoring the halls every day when some of the afternoon duty people come back from their duty spot. I know the kids are out of their area and they are done, but I'm putting in my hour of morning duty 9 or 10 weeks out of the school year and still pulling afternoon duty, regular hall duty also. I would just like to do afternoon duty for some of my weeks versus all morning duty. I don't mind doing morning duty or afternoon duty because it's one of my teacher duties and responsibilities, but I would like to see it alternate throughout the year.
All right, again, for this person, we'll talk about it. I'll do duties however you want me to do it. All right, I'll do afternoon, rotate you through the morning. Like I tell you all the time, all I need is bodies. And how we get bodies out there, that's fine with me. And again, this year, we'll ask for volunteers who wants to do afternoon duty, and we'll put that up. So this person, if you want to do afternoon duties every day, but I think it's ridiculous to have the afternoon duty people just sit there because somebody's standing on their door longer than they sit on afternoon duty. But when the duty is over, then the duty is over. I think that's that unreasonable fairness thing thinking. If the kids go through the cafeteria and the cafeteria is empty, then that duty is over. But if kids are in the hallway and you stand at the hallway till whatever time we say you have to stand at your door till the hallway clears, then that duty continues. So, that's what I'm saying. It's a case-by-case thing. It's not that it's not fair. It's the fact that thing stopped. I got my coaches over here. Their job calls for them to wear shorts and t-shirts and tennis shoes. I got my English teachers over here. Their job calls for them to dress professionally. Is that fair? Fairness has nothing to do with it. You could have been a PE teacher. But that's what I'm saying. It's based on situations. It's not one broad stroke and Well, it just doesn't work that way.
But would you consider putting it in with, I mean, y'all understand what I'm saying? Because I know I've had this conversation with several people
Okay.
on the faculty.
Okay.
And, you know, if you just like put that rotation in with the morning, and then that way, let's just say if I did 9, maybe, and I had to still do 9, maybe 7 of them would be morning, 2 of mine on the rotation would be afternoon.
I see
I mean,
what
so
you're
I
saying.
could
Instead of
turn
making it a
everybody get a chance at
permanent,
it.
instead of making it a permanent afternoon duty,
Just put it in
the
rotation.
rotation.
You just had to do morning and afternoon
Yeah,
combined.
Just say
we can do
duty.
both, you know, you do some of, and then everybody can do some of both, and it might would give you a feeling of a little break, or.
Getting stuff in the afternoon.
Right, that's right. Because with people with children, it's especially tough, you know, you have to worry about getting somebody to get them to get a little break.
Now, what I was trying not to do in doing that, and really, I guess the unintended consequences, I see what you're saying, because the unintended consequences was that it shortened the rotation for the morning people, because you pulled those people out and they had afternoon duty every day. So what we need to do is just, wherever there's a duty, whether it's morning or afternoon, just put it as part of the rotation.
And like maybe one week, I mean, I guess you're saying if one week you can't do morning duty, or you don't like afternoon duty, maybe there's somebody that loves morning duty, or, you know what I'm saying? Y'all
Yeah,
can work
all
it
I
out
need is a
between
body.
you.
Yeah, I don't care how you work it out.
Right.
Yeah,
Put
okay.
it in with the roll.
You know, Coach, some of the afternoon duty, came as a result of the construction, but we're gonna have the new configuration as far as the drop-off points. And I know there's a couple of questions here. What are gonna be the drop-off points next year?
Drop-off is gonna be right, they'll come in here, make that left, y'all know where I'll park, come up that side, drop off at the cafeteria doors, they can go straight out, or they can loop back around and come this way.
And that's for the car ride.
That's for the car ride.
So that kind of eliminates the.
Yeah, that is non-existent now. I'm talking about back out here.
So what about the ones that drive?
Student driver.
Well, what they're gonna do is, they're going to, where the bus ramp is, the grass area, they're gonna put parking spaces in some of that. They can't, like maybe half of the grass area, because in the front part, you've got fire hydrant and you got water and stuff. But it's gonna be like 48 parking spaces right on the bus ramp. And then it's gonna be curved in, so that will probably be the new senior parking. And then they're gonna pave the old senior parking that's dirt, they're gonna pave that.
They'll pave the pit.
Yeah, they're gonna pave the pit. So they're gonna pave that. So that'll be more for your senior parking. So all of that, they'll come in, everybody come in the same.
So some of the duties are gonna be eliminated
Yeah,
and
some of them
changed.
will go
So
away.
that might help with the rotation.
That's right. Yes, ma'am.
Would the car riders and the buses drop off at the same place?
Car riders are right up here.
Where would the buses drop them off?
Same place, the bus ramp. They're gonna repave the bus ramp and add parking in the grass, okay?
So that'll be the drivers and then the buses.
Right, just like
The
the
drop
old-
off will be right here.
Right. Kind of, what was the drop out at the old school?
That's what was
The drop off.
the back, where we had to build that sidewalk.
That's right, right out here by the practice field. Oh,
Yeah.
God took me on a journey today, all through, up on the roof of the theater, and found my feet, and I was hungry, and she excited. I'm thinking, man, I've seen this 1,000 times, but it is pretty nice. But y'all gotta go on a tour with her. She's excited, and she's climbing up in the ceiling, and I'm, ruining my shoes. All right, can we do the next one?
The passbook has been ineffective in the classroom. I've spent a tremendous amount of time organizing and reorganizing it because many of the students do not do their part. Many of them do not pay attention to where they return their passes. When they go to use them again, they can't find them, and class has to be interrupted to find it. It has been an issue that I've dealt with every day. If uniformity is the main concern, can we please discuss other ways to achieve this? The method I used before was much less time consuming.
All right, I don't know who did this. All I know for years, we've looked for ways to make passes both, where if we needed systems, and me being in the hallways and things like that, and people visiting the school, and even Dr. Henry, when she comes over, it's very noticeable the lack of traffic in the hallway. And if you don't believe me, I got a camera, and I can I can set it up for you on every hallway. And I interviewed a guy yesterday, and I pulled my camera up. I was talking about our hall pass system. And I pulled my camera up, and as we were talking, I just let that camera run. And he was looking. I said, "Oh, when you see a student, you let me know." And he was just running. And then he said, "I'm still looking." And after probably about 15 minutes, I think one kid popped out. And I was like, "You see that pass he got in his hand?" And that kid went to where they were, and I explained it. So, for me, and being in the hallway and seeing it every day, that's the best I've seen, to be honest with you. It is the best that I've seen. What we have to do is train them. We have to train our students to do it. And once you train them, I'm telling you, you have no issues. So whoever wrote that, if you need some assistance, I'll be happy to help you. I'll come see you, Coach. All right, thank you. All right, somebody over there. Thank you, Coach.
All right, we know it's hard to foresee everything, but some faculty members seem to get mostly the same station for morning duty over and over. We would like to see
eliminated duty. Read that again. They didn't hear you over here.
One horse is dead, y'all.
One more time, Dan.
We know it's hard to foresee everything, but some faculty members seem to get mostly the same stations for morning duty over and over. We would like to see it mixed up a little.
We'll try to do a better job.
Well, I think they had to readjust it a few times, so that kind of seemed like that.
It got readjusted. That's right. It did get readjusted sometimes, so it may have dropped you in the same duty. But duty is duty, right? It's not, other than being outside. Go ahead, come.
All right, we got a new subject. I think that morning duty is a necessary part of the workday. However, I really feel like the afternoon rotation should be put in with the morning rotation so that everyone has a chance to work afternoon as well as morning. Although it's every day, the afternoon shifts are much shorter than the morning shifts, especially considering that we all have duty until 3:45. I really think it will help the people that have to worry about getting their children to school in the mornings. Please consider making this change.
I think we've said that we'll look at that. It makes sense.
All right.
If everybody's okay.
Then maybe that person can swap with the morning, maybe you can find somebody to swap every time.
Well, again, it's situational. Coaches, we know that coaches need to be on morning.
Mr. Rash is right. Mr. Rash is available.
Yes, sir.
You know what's
Speaking of that, all right. I just realized, I knew I forgot to put something on here. That wasn't me, by the way. But I forgot to put about duty. We keep talking about fairness and everything. I know I've talked to several people about it. Monday through Friday is duty. If your duty falls on a holiday, congratulations. Next week, Monday through Friday.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't need to change it to make it fair. That you get 5 straight.
Because it'll even out over time.
Monday through Friday. Yours, if a holiday man, good job. Good job. I'm glad for you. Monday through Friday.
It's easier to understand and
It is.
remember what they are.
That's not a bad idea.
I mean, I think it would be easier to remember.
To what?
We had to redo the
I
whole
under what
thing
Sam's
because we
saying.
went to the dome. I mean, that was ridiculous.
Monday through Friday.
Because it wasn't fair. That was ridiculous. That was.
Somebody else had to do it 4 days instead of.
Can't be in the place next year.
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead, Ms. Ingram. Go
If
ahead.
your day falls on Labor Day,
We were talking
so
about
be
this
it.
the other day.
because guess what? Next time around, somebody else is.
But, when you break it, I don't think people realize when they're wanting the morning duty and afternoon duty rotating, what's fixing to happen is we're gonna have more duty. Because I don't think what people realize is that people on morning duty have 9 weeks of duty. which means they have, we broke this down, they have 45 hours, 5 days a week, times 9 weeks. It's 45 hours of duty. Those of us in afternoon duty, we actually end up with 3,600 minutes of duty, because we have to stay 20 minutes, which is equivalent to 60 hours, which means we're going to have 3 extra weeks. And for those of you on morning duty, your 3 weeks is equivalent to 5 days a week, which is 15 days. So what's going to happen is, when we change duty stations, everybody in this range is going to get 3 extra weeks of duty. It's going to have to be added in. I just wanted to make that clear.
That's data. That's data right there.
Next year, when everybody gets, like Mr. Paul says, when everybody rotates morning and afternoon, then they're going to get more duty, and then it's going to be another.
And then we'll be teaching
Will there be 3 stations though?
Ma'am? Yeah, it depends on how many stations too. So we'll look at the whole.
I just say, honestly, you know, I'm very easy and flexible, but like where my post is, I ain't gonna lie, I'm at that hall, it's the nature of my room here. I'm on that hall till 3:45, 3:50, and it is hard to see people, because they don't have kids anymore. I know they don't, so they gotta come back. But people that are standing there every day till 3:45, if not 3:50, I'm doing that every day anyway. I'm doing afternoon duty every day.
That's not
and I'm doing my 9 weeks of morning.
But you've been doing that.
And I'm doing my, because the nature of the beat, Mr. Moore, Miss Ferris are done because the kids are all up there. But Marcy and I get hit right there. We wait because there's.
What about Underwood and Cleveland? They don't have nobody coming out.
Exactly, and it's the nature of the beast. I get that. And y'all have like consultations, and I got little kids, and I've got it's the nature of the beast. I get that, but I just. One day I like to do, and I wasn't here the day that I had to go to Ridge Road, and I wasn't here today, the day to respond to that email, or whatever. I didn't get
and we will look at it.
So I'm saying I could have a chance to do 20 minutes versus an hour for 5, you know, just a couple of weeks.
And we will.
We have to rearrange our world in the morning too.
We will look at that. And duty stations go down.
I mean,
but keep in mind, when I come off
can't just
of,
stand there and stand there.
but when I come off my, we'll look at it. We'll look at it and see what. And of course,
Or let me be a permanent
right. We'll look at it because I'm telling you, once we get this, it definitely depends on where you are.
That's right. And
it definitely depends on where you are. Now, and what's going to happen is because drop off and pickup is over here, what's going to happen, this over here is going to increase probably. This over here is probably going to decrease because you guys on the main thoroughfare going to the new building. That's going away. So this is giving the new building a chance and then it will adjust all that.
Just bear in mind that everybody does duty until 3:45.
That's always.
That's always,
right.
Everybody. So you have to calculate that in if you are doing data, okay? It has to be calculated.
That won't be calculated.
I mean, I don't
Because
think,
that's being done.
no, I'm just saying, no, that's just carved in stone. That's what we
Right.
do. So you can't say that you've got to take that into consideration when you're referring to the afternoon shift.
What we're looking at is.
We all really do afternoon duty
That's
every
right.
day.
Right.
That's right.
And
So you've got to.
that's right. But,
So it is
when you're
calculated.
when you're talking about duty, I'm talking about duty outside the realm of your everyday responsibility.
Right.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. But we'll look at it. We'll look at it and then we'll do what's.
It's just hard to work with them.
I think we beat duty up enough.
It's called preventive
Okay, you don't want me to read the next part?
Y'all's point is pretty good. But what he's saying is that's
Everyone,
I know, and that's fine, and it matters.
everyone being spoken to for an offense or of unprofessionalism instead of going to the source.
All right, what you have to understand, if I talk to everybody about something, it is a systematic problem. Okay, if I talk to everybody, if I bring up something like attendance, if I talk to everybody about attendance, then it's a systematic problem. It's more than just one issue. Trust me, if there is an individual situation, I don't talk to everybody about an individual situation. So anything I talk about out to everybody is a system issue, okay? Like attendance. And we all, some of us put our attendance in like we supposed to, some of us do it sometimes, some of us hardly do it. So anytime I talk to everyone, then it's a school-wide issue. Because trust me, I do address individuals like that. Okay, next.
The first half of the year when faculty meeting lasted until 5, and we had already gone over the same stuff in PLC meetings, understand that we are tired at the end of the day, and it's hard to function in that kind of meeting anyway.
All I can say is we train the standard, not to time. That's a military. We train the standard, not to time.
Faculty meetings
It's funny, let no hear about the time we go short. Let no hear about when we go just for 10 minutes.
That's probably the good.
That's the good ones. Yeah, that's the good ones. All right, go ahead, Coach.
Faculty meetings, when we meet with department for 10 minutes to write everything down, then had to listen to every group, say the same thing over and over. Could have just asked 2 to 3 groups to share, lost the audience after the first 2 or 3 anyway, unproductive and a waste of precious time.
Not again, when we met with departments for 10 minutes. Oh, that's all right. That's our
Breakout sessions.
Again, that's training. And let me just tell y'all what happens. I'm gonna tell you what happens. We don't train you. All right. Say we don't train you, and we ask you to administer the milestone. Okay. As long as everything's good, nobody says anything. Then there's a problem with the milestone. What's the first thing you gonna holler? Nobody told me. I wasn't trained on it. But as long as everything's going good, then nobody says anything. But I guarantee you, if something goes wrong, and that certificate, you feel like that certificate's on the line, we all go to flight and fight mode. We all stick up the defensive barriers, and we all we didn't train you. I didn't train you. Now, when we're fully trained, did we have any issues with milestones? But y'all know those are showstoppers. And nobody wants to lose their certificate. Definitely not me. So that's why we train, and that's why we do things over and over again, because we want you to have a complete understanding of what it should look like, how it should be, because we don't want to have, because everything that rides on this stuff, standards and student growth models, we want you to have a complete understanding of it. All right.
All right, PLC meetings called on days other than Tuesday during the week with not much, if any, notice. Sometimes multiple days in 1 week with no prior notice.
Okay, again, that's just the, the only time we do that is when there's something that has to be done. For example, SLOs, they have to be completed, and there's a deadline that we have to turn them in. So then we had to do the data, get the data in and all that. So stuff like that's gonna happen sometimes. That's just the nature of it. All right.
Workload isn't distributed evenly or even close among teachers. Teachers that do not have classroom responsibilities, etc., should take up some of the things a regular classroom teacher has to do to ease the load and pressure.
Wow. Teachers that do not have classroom responsibilities. What teacher?
Who the heck is that? I want this job.
I think so.
What teachers don't have a classroom responsibility?
Oh, okay.
I think I'm pressure is on Friday night.
I don't know. You have teachers without no classroom responsibility?
Would that be the home office?
Carlos?
Talking about my, maybe they talking about my assistant instructors.
Carlos said coaches.
Tell one of the.
Coaches had classroom responsibilities.
So what now?
I wanted to talk about special ed.
I'm saying, I don't know nobody have a classroom, don't have a classroom responsibility.
I'm gonna tell you to read them all, man.
Y'all couldn't see me, so I can see what you're talking about. All right, next.
Some faculty members.
Speed coaches about the Spanish department.
You woke up Cunningham.
Spanish department.
Some faculty members tend to develop. Some faculty members tend to develop too many, quote, friend relationship with students. They are not seen as professionals, and students talk about those teachers to other teachers. They do not respect them, showing favoritism or flirting with other students of the opposite sex.
All right, now. All right, whoever wrote this, you are a mandated reporter. So if you saw something inappropriate between a teacher and a student, then you shouldn't have came and reported it. You shouldn't have aired it on this halt time sheet. So whoever saw this flirting and inappropriate, you are a mandated reporter. You need to come and report that to me. So after this meeting, whoever wrote this, I'll be seeing you in my office so that we can deal with this. But this is serious now. Yeah, working with students and all of that kind of stuff. That's an issue. So whoever this was, don't make me research and find you. You can come see me. That's a serious accusation right there. And I'm not playing. You cannot just make accusations like this and think it's just gonna go away. I got teachers flirting with kids and all of that kind of stuff, and students with the opposite sex. We are all mandated reporters. We cannot see that and just turn a blind eye to it. You must report it. So whoever that is, I know I'll see you after this.
All right, this last one I got.
I nominate Terry for all reasons.
It's in all caps. I do not like how we have done halt time.
Oh, it's all caps, you gotta yell.
I do not like how we have done halt time the last 9 weeks. I really feel like it hurt instruction time in those last few weeks before that milestone.
Teacher of the year.
I think we've already discussed the halt time. And again, I'm always open for a better way that meets all the criteria that has to be met. All right, where we at?
Tweets is over by Allison and Mr. Running.
We still got a couple more right here. They fell on the ground.
What is that?
Oh, look. Oh, okay.
That'll be at the end.
Okay.
Well, let's do additional comments, that's fine.
Overall, great year. I really appreciate the support that we get from the administration. Certainly appreciate the support from and the patience of Ms. Gibber. She never made us feel ill at ease.
All right, next one.
It really frustrates me when I take the time to write a referral and it is downgraded to a 1 hour.
What you have to remember, it's just like me, when I take a kid to tribunal, when I take a student to tribunal, whatever that tribunal decides, whether I agree with it or not, then when I turn it over to the tribunal, it is their decision. If I can't work it in this school, and I take them before the tribunal, and that kid gives his side, and I give my side, and the tribunal don't agree with me, then it is what it is. It's the same thing with discipline. Once you turn it over, there's a lot of things that go on with discipline that causes us to adjust it if we need to. Now, I don't know what situation this person is talking to, but I can guarantee you that don't happen much.
Coach, I agree. It doesn't happen often. That's why it's so important in that little narrative that we base what you're writing down. So, you know, we make that kind of determination. It doesn't happen often because we try to be very consistent. You know, the things we put down for 1 hour, you know, they're all very valid and we support you. You know, if you're writing the exact same thing on a discipline referral that kind of merits what everybody else is writing or what you've previously written as a 1 hour. So be very descriptive. You feel that, you know, we're not going to necessarily ask you for your input about what the discipline consequence is going to be, but if they have done something that you feel warrants more than a 1 hour, you need to be very descriptive in